Welcome everybody to BBL Season 8. This is Week 7, the final week before the All-Star break. Tonight I am playing with my Melonheads, who are on currently a 3-game losing streak. We just wrapped up a road trip where I was not able to pull it out in any of those weeks. So things have been down. Our overall record is down to just 2-4, but we are hoping to bounce back tonight with our first game back at home in 4 weeks. At Tin Can Alley, where my team plays best, and we are taking on the St. Louis Cardinals. They are coached by Devin Wolf. They are also 2-4 over in the AL Central. They have been both, for the most part, both putting up and giving up fairly low scores. Most notable feature of this team is they used their first-round draft pick on the Randy Johnson clone, Amanda Hellerman, which gave them the most feared pitcher, one of the most feared pitchers in the league, but at the expense of not getting a true superstar player. Unless you consider Randy a superstar, of course. Predictions for this game. We have, as usual with the Melonheads, a strong majority on one side. Last week it was a strong majority against us as we played the Mariners. But tonight it's swung back in our favor. Out of 15 predictors, 13 have chosen the Melonheads to win. Only 2 people, RU Tyler and JY Knight, have decided to side with Cardinals for this matchup. There's also one bonus pick at play here, which is which team will give up the most errors, and Toast has chosen the Melonheads as that team, so we will see if my team blunders around enough to make that prediction correct for him. Nobody decided to lock this matchup, and it was not eligible for upsets since we have the exact same record. And I think that's it for this part of the pregame. So I will go right in to the game itself. Alright, as usual with the Melonheads, games pre-rolled ahead of time to check good and bad days. Phil is having a bad day on fielding. That shouldn't have too much effect, although it might help Toast in the most errors category. As for the Cardinals, their defense is somewhat beefed up. Timmy Eckman's boosted to 10 batting and also has a fielding boost, so that could be impactful. Frank Thomas also has a batting and fielding boost, so 2 boosts on the Cardinals side. I also just realized I forgot to give my own prediction for this game. I do think the Melonheads are going to win, because we play very well at Tin Can Alley. They have Amanda Hellerman on the mound. I don't think that's going to make a huge difference. I think I can punch through Amanda without too much trouble here. And beyond that, they don't have a very intimidating defense, honestly. So I think I should be able to go off for a good score against them without too much trouble, and I'm not afraid about them going off against my team. So I do think this will be a Melonheads win and a final reversing of momentum here. So yeah, looking at the Cardinals defense, Hellerman is the main threat, of course, with the excellent pitching as well as sharing Randy Johnson's trait of being super tall, essentially a vacuum cleaner on the mound. But the rest of this defense isn't too intimidating. Frank will catch things that go close to him, but otherwise not too much of a problem. As long as they're not right around him, he's not too much trouble. Karen can get balls in quicker, so the right side of the field is somewhat intimidating. Kimmy can throw well. Over here, though, not so much. Roseanne is a average shortstop, not going to be lasering anybody out. Raquel at third might be a couple of easy bases with a weak arm. Fred is a pretty bad fielder. Tanya is pretty average fielder. So this is not that intimidating of a defense. Diana Hayes behind the plate is also not the best. She's not the worst. She can defend third base, at least at the start of the game. But I should be able to get some steals of second. That will certainly be helpful. Let's see. So I have not shuffled my defense yet. We're going to put Phil in center field because at Tin Can, center field isn't too impactful. Phil's probably my worst defender here. And as for the rest, I'll put Dimitri in left. Shane should be able to relay throws through Stan at shortstop, and so Dimitri getting it in, I think, is a bigger deal. One moment. There we go. Alright. And let's see, as for my lineup, I'm putting Fabian fourth, mostly because I want Jay hitting after Fabian, instead of Lindsay hitting after Fabian. And other than that, I will be, will I be leaving the lineup alone? I'll also have Phil bat straight after Heather with Stan at the bottom of the lineup. And that'll be my changes for that. Getting distracted by all the chats here. Alright. One last thing to note before I start the game. This is the final game before the All-Star week, and so we have the All-Star watch to note. For this game, though, that's not too impactful. Lindsay Felgate already has the All-Star spot locked up. She has been an absolute rock star on my team all season long so far. Even as she completely duds today, I think she's still head and shoulders above anybody else. So, with that being said, let's finally get into this game. I will not rule out the possibility of a 50, but certainly can't regard it as too likely yet, since I've never 50'd. In the case, Rosanna Phelps leads off and starts with an easy ground out after one pitch. Good way to start the game. Tanya Uchida up next. Yeah, the Cardinals also, the other thing about them is they don't have a lot of talent on offense, and that's especially due to the fact that they did use their first-round draft pick on Amanda Hellerman, who has strengths, but hitting is not one of them. Tanya hits a perfect blooper there to a spot where Fabian's covering third instead. Jay can't quite get under it properly, but she's greedy going for second, and is out. So yeah, that's probably one reason why Devin hasn't been able to put up the best scores here, is just because he doesn't have a lot of firepower on his team. Fred Benson is the one big hitter on his team. Fred and Jane are solid. Yeah, I've used Jane quite a bit before. She's decent, but not the best. And strike them out on 3 pitches. The biggest threat on the Cardinals' AI is out. I won't have to face him again, hopefully until the 4th inning. So, pretty uneventful first inning, though there is already one error on the board here. I'm not sure what qualified as an error. But there you have it. And it's bottom of the first. Time for the Melonheads to go to town. Lindsay with an .851 average. I, never have a batting average that high in my games. Lindsay is just really good, and doubly so at Tin Can Alley. That one would be trouble on another field, but here, off the wall, easy single. Thought for a minute it might land on the trailer, but not this time. Still, easy single for Lindsay, and there's already one on, nobody out. Shane Smith, the hitter. Take strike one so that Lindsay can steal second. Zero trouble with doing that. Rosanna with the error at second. I could go for grounder. A grounder up the third base line would be quite handy here. The problem is I cannot trust Shane and Sheila to actually hit grounders. They simply have too high of a swing power. Could just as easily be a pop-up straight to the pitcher, for example, and then I'm in trouble. And that one was just low. I should not have swung at that one. It was close enough. Didn't want to get struck out looking. Instead, I get struck out swinging. Shane is out then. 1 out. And Dimitri Petrovich, a hitter. At other fields, I do not like using power with Dimitri. I don't think he has quite good enough of a power bat to make it worth it most of the time. At Tin Can, though, it's a good option. His clone, Karen, tries to throw him out at first, but fails. Plugs the throw, Lindsay's able to score, and Dimitri takes second in all the confusion. So RBI, single, stretched into a double by Dimitri. It's 1-0 Melonheads. And Fabian Callahan, the hitter. Fabian has been doing pretty well in recent weeks. Last week, only a ground rule double, but before that, 4 home runs in 2 games. Home run not too likely here at Tin Can, but she's definitely been known to hit it over the fence before. And a promising situation. Oh! And it bounces foul! A very interesting play there. Gotta pause to take that one in. It looked like Amanda came and bumped into Diana at the last moment, bobbled the ball, and made it fall into foul territory. So, that was quite a play. I am happy that I don't have the out, at least not yet. 2-0-2 the count, and Fabian blasts one into right. That would be a home run at any other field, unless it has a super high right field fence, of course. For Fabian, it's just going to be a single, unfortunately. Can't take the chance of somebody else getting that and throwing her out at second. Still, plenty enough for Dimitri to score, so it is now 2-0 Melonheads on an RBI single by Fabian. Jay Green, the hitter. This is why I have the batting lineup the way I do, so that hopefully Jay can send one skyward and easily advance Fabian. That turns out not to work out quite here. But that one still gets enough momentum that Fabian is able to make it second safely. Everyone's safe on a single by Jay Green. Sheila Basanti, the hitter. Just low for strike one. Definitely don't want to go for the grounder here. Otherwise, Fabian's an easy out at third. Takes strike two, so I got to swing next time from the strike zone. Like that. Ooh, a nice opposite field one. Fred fielded off the wall. And that has just enough airtime for Fabian to make it safely, so bases loaded, one out. Heather Quinn, the hitter. As long as I don't hit one where they can throw Fabian out at home and then get the double play, we're good to go. I'd accept a pop-up here, and that's what we get. It's not called an infield fly, though. That should have been ruled an infield fly. If Amanda had thrown the ball faster there, that might have been a really obnoxious double play. But still have enough time. Everybody's back safely. It's just a regular old pop-out. 2 outs in, bases loaded, Phil Nevin, the hitter. This brings back bad memories. For a while, he was at Tin Can. He was choking in these situations. Let's see if he can get a big hit here, though, and drive in some runs, live up to his game-assigned nickname of the Cleaner. As for a juicy one, but knocks it foul, we'll go ahead and go for our contact swing. As long as it's hit in fair territory, off the wall or something, we should be able to get a score in. And lots of people congregating on it, but Rosanna is there first and does make the diving catch. For the third out, Phil once again failing to deliver with the bases loaded. If I had $1 for every time one of my power hitters left a runner on base this season, I'd be a rich man. Still, we're able to score two runs, wear down the Cardinals defense some, no doubt. And that was just the first inning. Plenty more innings to score, not worried yet. Strikes Frank out on 3 pitches. And Raquel Colon, the hitter. They do have some power hitters here on the Cardinals, Frank and Raquel. But they're fairly slow power hitters too, so it comes with its share of problems. And not the most consistent ones either. Raquel hits a sharp grounder off the third pitch. Bounces foul, though. Another foul ball. Certainly chopped that one. Could throw the heater for strike 3, but Raquel's a power hitter. Throwing a heater to a power hitter is always a risky move. This one goes low for ball 1. Could really use some more juice here. Jay's stamina meter is starting to look a bit concerning here. That one is definitely a strike. Called ball 2, though. Finally get her on the 7th pitch of the at-bat. Not the greatest at-bat ever, but ultimately got the job done. There is nobody on and 2 outs. Still no more juice either, unfortunately. Karen Donato, the hitter now. Jay having trouble hitting the strike zone, getting some not so friendly calls either. Tosses in a strike 2 here, though. Happy to go for the strikeout at this point because I need the more juice. And Karen swings early for the strikeout, so Jay Green does strike out the side here. A few misses against the strike zone, but ultimately, everybody out, no balls put in play. No hits for the Cardinals after 2. It's 2-0 Melonheads. We are almost at the top of the lineup here. Stan Olafson leading off. Smacks one to right to start off. That's going on top of the newspaper bins. Stan going for 2. Looks like that's getting enough airtime for him to make it. Tanya has it, but too late to have any play. Lead off double for Stan. Could go for power with Lindsay, but that increases the odds of a pop-up. At Tin Can, she's just as good with line drive. Fouls one off. 0-1 the count. And destroys one there. That is indeed off the wall. It's hard to get one not off the wall in Tin Can. That's probably going to be called a ground rule double before it comes off the trailer. I'm not going to go for home. Okay, maybe I could have made it if I'd gone for home, but I didn't want her to lose stamina from tripping. Still, easy double by Lindsay to score Stan and make it 3-0. Melonheads. Shane Smith is now the hitter. Okay, I know what I said about grounders and stuff before. We're going to go grounder and closed here and look for a very specific type of pitch, which is not that one. Oh, and 1 the count. 0-2 on another one that we didn't want, so I'm going to have to go back into the line drive regular hitting stance because I think unless it's a perfect one... Oh, and a nice hit by Shane there. Gets on top of the trailer even. Biggest hit he or Sheila has had all season so far. Fred's getting under it. He's going to be the one to catch it. Then gets bunked into by Karen. Still able to hold Shane to 2, but it's an easy RBI double. Lindsay scores, and it's 4-0. Crazy, I was not worried about the stamina from running to home. I was worried about the stamina from turning around and potentially tripping when she was sent back to second base. Odds were not high enough of it being not called a ground rule double to make that worth it. Almost a wonderful hit by Dimitri, but it goes foul. Smacks one here. That is going to be off the wall. That's the best thing about Tin Can Alley, is just that so many hits that would just be lame outs or maybe singles or errors if you're lucky at other fields are just easy singles or doubles at Tin Can because of the how close the trailer and everything is to the rest of the field. Shrinks the outfield so much, and especially for a team like this with a lot of power bats or minor power bats. Very helpful. Nasty strike 2 on Fabian. Amanda trying to get this game back under control. With runners on second and third and no outs, though. Not going too well. I know Frank Thomas is going to come on the mound next. Once I get through him, then things will really get interesting. And I thought that would be high for ball 2, but it was not. It was in the strike zone. Fabian caught looking for the first out, unfortunately. Jay Green now up, though. He's had an iffy season, but he is batting .680. He's done decently. It's not like Julie Dunkel on my other team, who has been a complete disappointment so far. But he also has not gotten as many big hits with runners on as I would have liked. Let's see if he can get one here. Juicy looking situation there. Turns out staying open was the wrong choice, though. 1-2 the count. We're going to go to line drive swing. And that's going to be an easy off the wall. Another RBI or maybe 2. Fred going to get the ball as Tanya just stands in the way. Jay could have gotten second, as it turns out, easily enough. Oh well. Still a 2 RBI single, and it's 6-0. Melonheads. Sheila Vasanti the hitter. Hellerman staying on the mound for now. Take strike 1 so Jay can steal second, which he does. No problem. Another error by Rosanna there. Oh, and 1 the count. Oof, little hit by Sheila there, but nobody's in its immediate vicinity. Raquel gets it, but is not the sort to gun her out at first. So still an easy single. Heather Quinn now the hitter. Heather hasn't been doing so great the past couple of games. And here we go. Frank Thomas now on the mound. Hellerman is at first base now, so ultimately they are two very similar fielders, so I don't think this changes too much, but once I get through Frank, then things might get interesting. And that gets past Hellerman. One hop, that's going to be a sack out by Heather. Advancing the other two runners. 2 outs in. Runners on second and third. Phil Nevin now up. He grounded into the third out last time. Or popped into the third out, whatever he did. He got the third out last time with the bases loaded. Let's see if he can bring some home this time instead. Looking good, but Phil fouls it off. 1-1 the count. Honestly, I'd rather have slow baller Frank than heater Amanda, just because I have more time to react to the slow balls. Phil swings through a right hook. 1-2 is the count. Looked like that might be called strike 3. Couldn't take a chance. Fouls it off. Still 1-2. Phil not getting any great hits yet. Pop up there, and that's straight. Oh no, Amanda's running away from it. Amanda runs in instead, leaves Karen to get it on the 1-hop, so it's going to be a single for Phil. Jay Green scores at 7-0. And Stan is up for the second time this inning. Let's see if he can get another big hit here. This time that would bat in the run. Takes ball 1. Phil is going to retreat. Looks like that would have been an out if he had kept going. 1-0 the count. Fouled one off. 1-1. This is a good start to the game already. Even if I don't score any more runs the entire game, I think I have a solid chance at winning. But I intend to score a lot more runs this game. Stan with a sharp liner there, straight to Raquel, but she drops it. Everybody is safe. Sheila scores. It's now 8-0. The inning continues. Lindsay is back up. The definite all-star and prospective MVP candidate is 2 for 2 today with a double and a single. Now I'm going for power swing. Gonna try to bat in a couple more. 1-0 the count. Frank having some trouble hitting the strike zone here. Swing and a miss for strike 1. 1-1 the count. Frank's putting some nasty ones in the corners. Lindsay can't get a good, make good contact. Swap into line drive with 2 strikes. And liner up the middle, just gets past Frank. Unfortunately, straight to Tanya, and they are able to make the play at second. Third out. Unfortunately, Lindsay is out. That's always a tragedy. And so the inning is over. Still a 6-run inning for the Melonheads. It is now 8-0 after 2 innings. And Jay got the more juice I wanted so much. At present, he has no need for it. Amanda Hellerman, the hitter. Not exactly an intimidating presence at the plate. Hits a dinky grounder. Actually running fairly fast. Probably has most of her stamina still. It just is hard to tire out Randy Johnson and Sloan. Timmy Eckman now the hitter. She does not have a running boost in play, which is good for me, but she does have a batting boost active. We'll see if that makes an effect. Grounds one up there. Heather drops it. Able to catch it, but then an error as she tries to throw to Jay at first. We'll have to gun her out at second instead. Kimmy with the trip. Sheila's gonna run up and tag her out. That was a bit of an error-tastic play there, but ultimately, we prevailed. Diana Hayes is now up. First pitch hits a dinky grounder. Gonna be an easy third out here. Jay trying to make sure he avoids losing any more stamina than necessary from longer throws. Going into the bottom of the third. 8-0. Looking to widen that gap further. Shane Smith leading off. And that manages to get past Frank. Again, I thought he would catch that for the out, but every time I expect one to get swiped up by Frank or Amanda, they just don't. So, that many more hits for me. Shane is on first safely. Runner on first, nobody out. Should be an easy steal of second, as Dimitri is a hitter. Oof. Thought that was going to be a ball, called strike one. In any case, 0-1 the count, and Shane easily steals second base. Almost at a point where I could conceivably steal third, but I'm not going to take that risk at this point. Dimitri smacks one, that's wide open. Gonna be an easy base hit for him. Shane Roundin coming for home. Dimitri gonna hold at first though. Kimmy drops it at second, no play at home. Easy score there, it's 9-0 Melonheads. 2 more runs until we force Frank off the mound, and then we'll see what happens to the Cardinals defense. Fabian Callahan the hitter. A single and a strikeout. Fabian smacks one. I don't think that got enough height or went at the right angle to be a home run. Oof, and it didn't quite catch on the trailer either. Fabian unfortunately going to be limited to just a single here. Almost a beautiful hit, just went a bit too much to the left though. Jay Green is a hitter now. 2 for 2 with 2 singles. He has done all right today. And smacks one, although not that smacked. Bounces off the trailer instead, goes straight to Fred. Fabian is out at second. I'll call that a single for Jay because Fabian was only out because she's really slow. Dimitri scores, and it's 10-0. 1 on, 1 out for Sheila Basanti. Takes strike one as Jay takes second base. Definitely if Raquel's in the right place, if I attempt to steal third, it could throw me out, so. Still gonna have to content myself with just second base. Oof, and a grounder straight to Amanda at first. No hope with that one. 2 outs. Heather Quinn, the hitter, has not gotten on base today. Let's see if we can change that here. If this rally will get cut short at just 2 runs. Popped it up there. That one actually might go off the wall. It does. As the 2 outfielders were just bonking into each other, Jay is able to score. It's an RBI single by Heather. 11-0 Melonheads. I tell you, Heather is not useless. Even my weakest hitter on the team can hit one off the wall here. That 10 batting rating is inflated some, but it's not completely meaningless. She can hit solidly. And an interesting twist here is Amanda Hellerman coming back off the mound. Is it just going to be swapping between Amanda and Frank the entire game? Is that how it's going to work here? I don't know. Phil pops a mighty one up to center, though. That should be an easy double, at least. That's going to be a double. And a double only. That one is stuck on the trailer. It stopped moving after it got up there. Gonna go for it just in case. It's not being called a ground rule double yet. Oh my. Oh boy. Can he make it? Yes! The calls go in Phil's favor, and he is able to round the bases for an inside the park home run on the trailer. 13-0 Melonheads. How long will it take this play to end now? Are we just waiting for the ball to come off the trailer? It's getting close. One of these plays. It's still moving, but only just barely. This might be the longest play I've ever had, except for the time Fabian... Even longer maybe than the time Fabian got a glitchy inside the park home run at Dubois Diamond. It's saying, and now it's finally called a ground rule double about 2 minutes after Phil crossed home plate. Way to go. Way to go. Tin Can Alley is a wacky park sometimes. Alright, after that little diversion, Stan Olofsson is a hitter. He is 2 for 2 today. And swapping back to Frank Thomas, it does look in fact like it'll be just the Amanda and Frank tango for the rest of the game. Too bad. I would have liked to have gotten to tee off against a weaker pitcher. And here we go. Timmy Eckman now on the mound. We'll see what happens here. That does have the unfortunate effect, actually, of putting Frank at second base. Any liners up that way might be in more trouble now. 1-2 the count on Stan. 2-2 now. Fouls it off on a nice-looking one. Not able to make full contact, though. If you're too jumpy, it's got to be horrible trying to hit against Kimmy. That wind-up, you're not sure when she's going to actually deliver. Fouls went off. Still a full count on Stan Olafson. Another one fouled off. Kimmy having to put in work here. 6 pitches already. And this is her first batter. Finally makes good contact. Hits one over there. Unfortunately, it's just a bit over to the left. Tanya is able to easily line it up for the catch, and that is the 3rd out. Didn't even make it once around the lineup this inning, but we did score 5 more runs. It's now 13-0 Melonheads. We are at a plus 15 right now with 2 innings still to score. Rosanna Phelps leading off for the Cardinals, who are on their 2nd trip around the lineup. Cardinals have gotten a couple players to first base, but they haven't been contented there. None of them have been able to stay safe long enough to get to the next batter, so it's officially a perfect game still. It continues as Rosanna watches strike 3 go by. 1 out, Tanya Uchida the hitter. On deck is the one threat for the Cardinals to score a run here, I think, in Fred Benson. Pop-up by Tanya, and Stan a little off, but is able to correct and make the catch in time. This Melonheads defense actually isn't half bad on the player side. I've played with much worse defenses before, like ones where you have players like Angela and Lulu running around. This one is a bit rough as an AI just because of the low arms, but the speed, and there's enough arms here. A player intelligently guiding them can make them work. And we get Fred out, so Cardinals continue to do absolutely nothing. Bottom of the 4th. It is 13-0. Let's see how many more runs we can score. Lindsay leading off. 2 for 3. Would be 3 for 3 if no one was on in her last at-bat. Oh well. Again, Lindsay is just really, really hard to get out with at Tin Can Alley. Fouls him off. 1-1 the count. I expect this will end with Kimmy being quite gassed. And who knows what she'll go after that. Lindsay pops one off the left field wall. Looks like that will be a fairly mundane double. Shane Smith now up. Has a strikeout and 2 base hits on the game, including a very impressive double earlier. Take strike 1. I could try for the ground ball down the 3rd baseline, but ultimately, too specialized, I don't think it's worth it going for. Ball 1. 1-1 the count. It's a nothing ball. Gonna run as fast as he can to try to beat out the Diana throw, and is successful. Diana didn't even throw it to first. 2 on, nobody out. Dimitri Petrovich is a hitter. Dimitri, as well as his hitting clone Stan, have been doing excellently this game. Back at the alley, they are back to inflating their averages up. Dimitri 3 for 3. And that is a questionable strike 1, but it is strike 1 nonetheless. Take strike 2 on a corner pitch. So I think this might be the first time he's had to swap to line drive swing this game. Most fields I prefer line drive to power for Dimitri because he's not a super power hitter, but a tin can. And it's different confines. It works well enough. That one ended up going low, and Dimitri was not able to make contact, so should not have swung at that one, as it turns out. Strikeout for the first out. That's my 3rd strikeout this game. Who knows how well I'd be able to do without in these tin can games without strikeouts. Fabian mercifully fouls one off. That would have been straight to Hellerman, otherwise I could have been trouble. 0-1 the count. Fabian has been able to put in some good numbers this game. Easy single here. Lindsay's going home, and Fred just throws straight to the mound to end the play. Jay Green now up 3 for 3 with 3 singles. He hasn't had any monster hits yet, but he has been doing solidly. 2 on, 1 out. That one ended up being a bit lower than I expected. Problem with heats, they don't give you as much time to evaluate them. Inside for ball 2. Kimmy, I think, is losing effectiveness here on the mound. Ball 3. 3-1. Is Jay Green gonna just draw a walk? That he is. No good pitches to hit. On this at-bat, Jay Green walks on 5 pitches. Bases loaded with 1 out. Sheila Basanti, the hitter. All she needs to do is put one in the gap and everyone should be safe. Unless maybe it's in the left field gap. Second base is always the hardest one to get those slow kids to. All much easier from there once you get them there. Kimmy knows where Sheila would be weakest. Throwing the balls in the corners, trying to get her to ground out to first again. Ooh, and the spitball comes in, and just barely avoid some really bad luck there. I thought that was going to be Jay automatically tagged out at second because Rosanna was standing on the bag. Fortunately, that was not the case, and so only Fabian thrown out of third. Run scored, so it's 15-0, and we just earned a screaming line drive for Heather Quinn, which basically is just guaranteeing she gets a solid hit. My preferred power-up here to use with Heather at Tin Can Alley would be Undergrounder, honestly. But none of them are super amazing. And I swing early with it and use up my only use. You're welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Swung slightly early. No screamer for me. Goes for a ground ball this way instead, and nobody covering first base. Heather running as fast as she can, and she is going to be safe. As Kimmy rockets one off Amanda's head. Amanda is able to throw it to home in time to stop Jay from scoring. Gets caught in a bit of a rundown, but ultimately makes it back safely. That was a bit scary. Alright, Phil Nevin is up. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Last time this happened, he got out for the 3rd out. Let's see if he can bring some in this time. A situation rife with potential. Can we convert that potential into reality? Hellerman's arms just isn't that intimidating most of the time. She doesn't make good use of it. Just does a lanky throws. I don't know, is it a 100 arm? Really? I find that hard to believe, honestly. Wow. Never throws like it. Take strike 2, 2-2 the count. Would love for a walk here. That would be easy way to get in a run. And then Stan would be up. It is a full count here for Phil Nevin. Not going to be the walk, and whoo! My game jumped a frame for a moment there. I was scared, but everything's all right. Liner off the wall. Going to be a 2 RBI single for Phil. It is 17-0 Melonheads. We're at plus 20 now. Stan will listen up. Let's see if this rally can continue. Stan might be the only hitter on the team now below 500. Maybe Heather as well. At just 458. He's done solidly today, though. Kimmy's got to be tiring out by now. 1-1 the count. And 1-2 on strike 2 I cared not to swing at. Swapping to line drive swing. Swings late and fouls it off. Still 1-2. And sends one sky high. Not quite sky high, but... sends one hard up and hits it off the wall. Heather is able to hustle to third. Although I do have to deal with the silly mechanics where I can't rush Heather without also sending Phil. I'm also getting some very strange noises in my headphones now. I don't know whether that's from the game, or Discord, or just my headphones. I think it's my headphones. Okay, I can't worry about that right now. 1-0 on Lindsay Felgate. I have to continue padding that MVP resume with several more RBI here. Randy will laser it if he has to, but he does enough lazy, lanky throws to get a lot of hits where other pitchers would be getting outs. Lindsay not able to go for the big power hit here. 1-2 hits a line drive. That one is... oh, and straight to where Tanya was shifted over to the second out of the game for Lindsay. This is a sad game indeed. And that ends the fourth inning. Melonheads were able to put up 4 more runs. It's currently 17-0. And the effect of that little rundown Jay caught in is shown here. Having to use that more juice. And a big hit finally from the Cardinals. Frank hits one off the left field wall. That will be a single. I love Tin Can Alley. That brings up Raquel Cullen. Let's see if she can give us a double play ball here. With a slow runner on first. That's not a double play ball. That's going to be another hit. And Cardinals suddenly putting together a rally here. Their first 2 hits of the game. Although, Shane is still able to throw Frank out at second for the first out. Karen Donato now the hitter. All of the hitters on the Cardinals coming up straight in a row. Not great for getting double plays. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Is Karen just going to strike out and end any chance at a double play here? We'll see. Fouls one off. Yeah, was she the one that took me 7 pitches to strike out last time? Maybe she was. Ah, there we go. Beautiful ground ball there. Nobody there to field it, unfortunately, but Shane gets it. Nope. Oh. And, alright, folks, you are my witness here. There was no cheesing involved here. No cheesing involved, and the game ensures I don't get the rewards either, as Heather drops it to avoid the double play. No power-ups for me. Game cheesed on my behalf. The game giveth and the game taketh away. Alright, but Amanda Hellerman is up with the runner on first. I am not afraid. Should be an easy play at second, and it is. Third out. No damage done by the Cardinals, just a bit of a variety here in the game. Going into the bottom of the 5th for the Melonheads' last scoring drive. We've currently got a plus 20 going on. We'll see how many more we can tack on. Shane Smith is the hitter. Bit surprised that Kimmy is still on the mound. Sends one to right, unfortunately straight to Karen, but Karen is not able to catch a ball. Shane is safe on an error. I don't care whether it's an error or a hit, as long as he gets on base. Dimitri is now up 3 for 4 today. I think there's a lot of players on this team who are 3 for 4 today. 1 on, nobody out. Way inside for Dimitri. Shane steals second, no problem, as Diana throws it into the ground. One of those a count, and Dimitri sends one rocketing towards right. That's going to be off the newspaper bins. His clone Karen is there to catch it. Eventually. And then flubs the throw. Dimitri could have taken second. Couldn't have known that. Instead, just an RBI single, but Shane does come around. It's 18-0. Fabian is the hitter. Has been doing about as well as you can expect from her at Tin Can. 3 for 4 with 3 singles. Getting a lot done with off-the-wall hits. And Amanda Hellerman now back on the mound, which means Timmy Eckman is playing first base. That's an interesting one. Could easily be overthrown if it came to a tight play at first. And back to Frank Thomas. Amanda Hellerman at second base is scary. Not letting Dimitri steal, as instead swinging for what looks like it might be a juicy pitch, and we're doing the Amanda Frank tango again. Will we get a break from this? Someone else to pitch for a while? Maybe? We'll see. Pop up for Fabian, that's going to be called foul. Nobody getting to that ball in time. And back to Frank. This could get annoying. And, strike 3 taken. Fabian's 2 outs are both on taken strike 3s. I knew that was going to be a corner pitch if it was in there. Not going to be a great hit. Ultimately should have swung. And I knew it by the time it was crossing the plate. It's just like, sometimes you know, but you can't act on that knowledge. You know what I mean? Like, you realize before it's called, but after it's too late to change your mind. Jay hits another one into the ground. There is 1 out, 1 on. Jay 3 for 3 with 3 singles and a walk. No extra base hits yet. And there's a strong one off the wall. That might not be an extra base hit, though. No, it will be, because only Fred is going for it, as Rosanna and Tanya just watch it. And by the time Frank finally gets it, Jay is safely on third with an RBI triple. 19-0 Melonheads. Next run counts for 2. Sheila going to hope for an opportunity for the perfect grounder down the third baseline. Ball 1. Because if we just get it going down the third baseline and on the ground, then there's no hope for Raquel to throw her out at first. Super easy hit. Frank also might just walk her. I would accept that. Or we could do that. You know, that might be the first time I've ever successfully hit in the big freeze, actually. I almost never see it coming. And that time, if I had been planning to swing, I don't think I would have. But I was not planning to swing. I was going to let it go, and then I was able to see the big freeze, went for the swing, and here we go. Another screamer for Heather. Let's see if we can actually use it this time. Ball 1, as Sheila easily takes second. Diana having trouble with getting accurate throws here. Runners on second and third, 1 out. Screamer would be an easy RBI. Heather is 2 for 4 today, with no power-ups successfully used. This time gets a screamer, though. Ooh, and Frank deflects it. He is stunned, but not enough. His successful deflection is enough to get Heather out at first. Ironically, the screaming line drive might have made that play worse. I think if she hadn't used it, it would have been a better chance of just a regular old hit. So, out, but on a successful sacrifice to score a run. These power-ups, I tell you, power-ups are overrated. They've been nothing helpful for Heather. Nevin now the hitter, pops one. And we got Tanya and Rosanna going for it. They tumble over each other, so there's no play there. Single for Phil, another run scores. It's 21-0. And Rosanna Phelps comes on the mound, and that could be some trouble. Because now we have Frank Thomas at second base, Amanda Hellerman at shortstop. And that even matters, as I was a bit too overconfident there. Didn't rush Phil until late. He runs straight into the out. An anticlimactic way to end the 5th inning. Just imagine how many runs I'd be scoring if I didn't make these mistakes. Going to be a plus 25 here, and that's with, I think, at least 3 strikeouts, a dumb running straight into an out, etc. Yeah. In any case, so that's going to be good for plus 25, which should be an easy win here. It would be truly shocking if Devin suddenly came up and scored in the upper 20s. So now we just have to finish the formalities here. Diana Hayes now the hitter. Grounds one towards the third base side for an easy out. 2 outs. And Rosanna Phelps, the last hitter for the Cardinals. Not the most concerning ever. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Take strike 2. 1 pitch away from this game being in the books. No real good pitches to end this in style, so we'll just go for the short but sweet heat. Rosanna swings and misses for a second strikeout of the game, and that is it for the Cardinals. Game over. Final score, Melonheads 21, Cardinals 0. That will be a plus 25 in the books, which is almost certainly going to be a winning effort. None of my power-ups came close to the wall this game, I should point out. Alright, looking at the Around the League. My nemesis, the Devil Rays, put up a lot. A's win off in the Around the League. What about my other team, the Royals? They lost to the Braves, that sounds about right. As for stats this game, everybody got in on the action. Heather with only 2 hits, unfortunately. That screaming line drive quite well prevented her from getting a 3rd hit. I'm a bit salty about that. Let's see. There's not really a super clear player of the game here, honestly. I don't think I'm gonna... Well, Jay Green gets player of the game. He was the only player on the team to not get out at all. Only 1 extra base hit, but still 3 singles, a triple, and a walk. Batted in 4 runs, scored for himself, and pitched a nearly flawless game on the mound. No runs allowed, only 3 hits allowed. Good effort by the entire team, though. As for the season stats at the halfway point, Lindsay has an 8-12 average, 17 extra base hits, a matching number of RBI. She is the clear all-star for my team. That's it for this week, then. Next week is the All-Star break. After that, we'll be doing another Tin Can Alley game against another AL Central team, the Pirates. So we will see how we do there. I'm expecting another successful game, but we shall see. In the meantime, sometime later this week, I will come back with my other team, the Royals. Until then, thanks everyone for watching.